Hey guys, this is Kerry Martell here at Power Palace Gym here in Newburgh, Oregon. Bodybuilding, powerlifting, sports conditioning gym. Got sort of a 1980s theme here going on. And the theme of that, we've got all of us classic Nautilus chain-driven cam designed machines created by Arthur Jones back in the 60s and 70s. So this is the Super Pullover machine, and it is considered to be the best bodybuilding machine ever created. They just don't make them like this anymore. There's some belt-driven ones out there, but this is using the original chain and cam system designed by Arthur Jones. Most from the research I've done, most of the Mr. Olympus and most of the Mr. Universes have actually trained using this for their lats, for their back here. It's considered the best back exercise machine ever made, one of these models. And this is the next generation. This is not the first gen or the second gen model. Some people prefer the next generation. Some people prefer the Gen 2, Gen 1s. Even the original model, the vintage plate-loaded one that Arthur Jones first created before it was a big commercial thing. But this is what we have, the next generation. And I think it's a really fantastic machine. And here we go. So how do you use one, right? How do you actually use this thing to work your back? Because it's not really well explained with the instructions. So in this video, I'm going to actually demonstrate how to use it to work the back, because this is actually designed to work multiple muscle groups. Now, first thing you want to do is make sure that the weight stack is not terribly heavy. Right now, it's on about 50 pounds. That's probably okay for this demonstration. You want to adjust the seat, and the way you adjust the seat is that you look here in the inside. Now, there's a little red pin here. I'll have a little footage here, close up on that. There's a little red, it almost looks like a pin. It's really just a piece of plastic. And what you want to do is you want to line up your shoulder joint to that. So now I look and see I'm actually a little bit high for it. So I want to raise the seat up, but not so much that my shoulder joint goes past the little red dot. Now, the red dots on a lot of these Nautilus machines, especially the next generation line, they're designed to show you where to put your joint. So if you're doing the bicep curl and you see a little red dot, you're supposed to actually put your joint for your arm within line with that, aligned with that red dot. That's where you're supposed to place it. Similar, you're supposed to put the joints of your shoulders in line with it. And I can see that I've aligned myself properly. Now, there's also a seat belt here that you can use. Some people have difficulty keeping the back, the lower back, where their hip is against the machine. I don't really have that problem, but some people do, different body shapes and sizes. The larger you are, the more difficult it can be, especially when you start adding a lot of weight to stay in it. So if you need to use a seat belt, by all means use a seat belt. The way to bring the arms down is to step on this loading leg right here. And then what you want to do is put your arms in here and bring your elbows down and let go of the leg. So positioning. You might assume that you're supposed to keep your back totally flat against it. If you want to work your upper body, you want to work your chest, by all means do that, okay? But that's not how you work the lats. You will work the core, you will work your upper arms and stuff for it, but that's not really what you want to do for lats. What you actually want to do is very similar to a lat pull down. Now, some people use the lat pull down in a way that doesn't work for lats. They lean back way too far on it. What you're actually supposed to do is get yourself kind of underneath it like you're doing a pull-up. So your chest is puffed out a little bit and your back is not touching the back of the pad on this pullover machine. And you want to just try to use your elbows to pull all the way back. That is what's going to work your lats. And as I say, pull your elbows. You want to use your lats to bring down your elbows. You've got to focus on muscle control. You've got to focus just on using your lats to pull down the weight. And you want to do a full extension, okay? As you do the full extension, it's okay to lean your back against it. It's kind of impossible not to. But as you pull down, you definitely want to puff your chest out a bit and just focus on isolating those lats in the exercise. Now, when you get too exhausted, you feel like you just can't do any more, you could try to cheat a little bit, okay? Keep your hand here, put your hand in the center here, and still keep focusing on those lats. Now, this will get it a little bit deeper into the middle of your back. That's one thing that this does do, as long as you're using your lats to pull back. So that's just a little quick tutorial on how to use this machine. It's really not that complicated. It's just really just about positioning of the body. And all of these machines really comes down to that. If you don't position your body just right, just in that little sweet spot, the exercise just doesn't become as effective. So I hope that this helped a lot of people looking for information on how do I use a Nautilus pullover to actually work my back versus, you know, the rest of my upper body. That's how you do it. You have to actually position yourself kind of like you're using a lat pull down to work your lats. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next video.